Thank you for joining Effortless Attraction. My name is Evelyn McAleer. I'm the author of A Life You Want, Effortless, and The Woman's Journey. I'm a life coach, business mentor, and inspirational speaker. And my greatest value is making a difference in people's lives. So I hope through these podcasts I can make a difference to your life.
Effortless Attraction podcast is sponsored by Maria Young Wellbeing, wellness mentor and creator of Infusion, a platform designed to inspire health, wealth, abundance, and a life lived with purpose. Maria conducts events, trainings, and the blending of practical tools for lasting change. Her mission is simple: to help you live well and rise strong. You can explore more at www.mariayoungwellbeing.co.uk or infusion.mn.co.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on today's episode. Well, this episode is for anyone who has ever had a dream sitting quietly in their heart, but have managed to talk themselves out of it. I'm joined by the wonderful Maggie McCann, founder of Maggie Mc Creations, a woman who has always had a deep love for textile design and art, but for years didn't believe she was good enough to turn that passion into a business. Confidence held her back. She told herself that being a designer, an artist, or a business owner just wasn't for someone like her. But when Maggie turned 40 in 2024, something shifted. That milestone became her turning point, and she made a decision that the following year would be different. She would be finally trusting in her own creativity, and she took the brave, uncomfortable, and courageous steps forward. She didn't have it all figured out. She didn't even have a business name at the beginning, but she knew one thing for sure. She wanted to design, to create, and to bring fun back into fashion, and most importantly, to bring life back into herself. Leaving the security of a full-time employment was nerve-wracking. Stepping away from a guaranteed wage into the unknown of self-employment takes serious courage. But Maggie didn't leap blindly. She transitioned gradually, slowly reducing her hours while building her business alongside it. And now, she's not only generating income from her creativity, she's reignited her spark, her confidence, and her sense of aliveness. So, this conversation is for anyone who is thinking about starting a business, pursuing a passion, or making a change that feels both exciting and terrifying. Maggie, you are most welcome today.
Thank you, Evelyn, for having me.
How did that introduction sound to you?
Well, sitting here today, it wonderful to hear those words and also to a shower of emotions that's just literally just came over me of hearing things like that out loud.
Isn't it amazing what can take place within the space of 12 months when you put your mind to it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And where attention goes, energy certainly flows. So yeah, it's wonderful.
I'm going to take you back, Maggie, when I read parts of your bio there that you had this belief being a businesswoman wasn't something, it wasn't for you, or you couldn't manage doing that, or that you had allowed, I suppose, that passion that you had for art and design to be somewhat compressed and suppressed within yourself. And 40 was your turning point. Was there anything? Was it just the age that was the turning point, or was there something that said, now's the time?
Well, life basically, a lot of things had happened in not just my personal life, just a lot of things in life. And I think for me, it was the 40 of going, do you know what, Maggie? You don't want to have another 20 years of the what ifs, because there is no rainy day and there is no right time, and things will happen, when it's meant to be. But I physically wanted to grab that moment myself and go, no, Maggie, this is your time now.
Well, isn't that wonderful that you listen to that voice?
Yeah.
How scary has this process? Because it's all relatively new, Maggie, and your business is in the early stages as well.
Absolutely. It's as I said there at the start, it's a bag of emotions. I actually described myself last year as an onion. It was the year of the snake in 2025, but I described myself as an onion because the onion was basically peeling away from me. I was taking braver steps, and it is a lot of hard work and breaking through the fears. And for me, there was a lot of fears and a lot of self-doubt that physically I broke and still am breaking through. Every day is a learning day. So a really bag of emotions, but good because I am finally listening to my intuitions, my heart, my gut, and my head is finally aligned that,
Mm.
well, why not you, Maggie? Well, why not you can do that, and I believe it because I see it. I just close my mind's eye and there I am at my machines. There I am designing. There I am with the customer. So yeah, just putting the hard work into it. So yeah, every day.
I had a conversation with a woman the other day, and she's thinking of selling. She's in Spain here, but they're going to sell the house where they're at to buy a bigger property to start running her own retreats and different things like that. Now, I think she was a bit deflated by the time she got round to talking to me because she said she had shared this idea with others, and they went, "Are you sure? Now is it going to work?" And I asked her, these people that you shared it with, do they have their own business? Have they had to take that leap of faith? And the answer was simply no. So there's no point in sharing that dream and vision with others. Have you found that along the way? Just because you're excited and passionate, Maggie, maybe others don't get it, or how important it is to have the right support for your dreams.
Absolutely. And I think that happens to everyone. And me personally, parts of that did happen because it was the conversation had of, well, you need to make money, bills need to be paid. You've had this security, you've guaranteed a regular paycheck every month and the security of having a boss that you could just go in and do your work. So there was a lot of conversations like that as well, from people that was not business owners, but one particular business owner, that he has been so supportive of me, as well, and that is my father. So from a business point of view, he gave me the tools and the flexibility of to go forward with my dream, but also very real about it as well, that this is your business, you want to make money at the end of the day, and doing all the right steps. So I, you're right in saying to have the people around you is perfect, as in the right vibe as well, because the support is absolutely needed to be there. And again, my husband, Gary, the support from him has been wonderful. And without those right people, friends as well, and women that I regularly talk with as well, is being surrounded with same like-minded people. I think that's really been my champion.
Yeah. Because when you're self-employed, it can be a lonely existence.
Mhm.
You could easily give up and quit, and you soon come to realize that you have to be more than just what your skill is. So you're skilled and your passion is about creating, is about artwork, is about designing, is about, your printing and ideas. That's your skill. But then, Maggie, have you also realized that going down this business route, you also have to be the marketer, the secretary, the accountant, the video girl, all of these things.
Absolutely. And again, every day is a learning day. It doesn't matter if you're 41, 21, every day is a learning day. And I've enjoyed every single thing. I think also too, what's been a positive self-confidence build for me is being in the position that I have been, which will almost be 13 years this June. And it is working in my father's company. And that has built me strength from seeing a business from the inside out and the do's and don'ts, etc. And a part of that job was, in fact, a huge big job. That's basically what I do, was the administrative side of it. And again, that turning point of turning 40 had made me realize that, yeah, Maggie, you are a creative mind. You're not an administrator. So in terms of running the business, and I am the one-stop shop, the secretary, the marketeer, the I am still learning with that because again, that's the area that I know that I need to work on when it comes to the administrative side of it. But I know it'll all come in time and taking those steps forward because I need to, that's how my business goes and being out there and talking to others and getting certain wee tips ha has helped me, and it's hard work, but it's accomplishment when you know that it's yours and
Hmm.
that you're putting that effort in.
Yeah, because there's so many things really you do get to learn along the way. And here's something that by speaking to many other people that became self-employed and setting up their own business because you love what it is that you get to do. The difficult part sometimes for people is putting a price on it because they think, well, I really enjoyed doing that. It maybe didn't take me so long doing that, but they're thinking, hold on, it's effortless to you because you have all these skills, all these years. And when you're in employment, well, you have an expectation. If I work X amount of hours, there's my wage. Was it difficult for you pricing at the beginning and saying to people, with confidence, this is what my price is?
100%. And I think anyone in the creative design and textiles world would absolutely agree. And that is where your self-belief and your self-doubt comes in. Is that good enough? Will people buy that? Because that's what held me back at the very beginning, 20 years ago after my degree. It was, I'm not good enough. Will they buy that? So I had found that a big struggle and still am some days. But again, being surrounded by great business mentors through Go Succeed, Women in Business programs. That has gave me my self-worth and understanding my self-worth because my business that I am creating and I'm doing is a bespoke, sustainable business. So it is on a customer's vision. It is on my designs that inspire me every day, no matter if I'm out walking, going to work, being on a beach. Like I have inspiration from designs from all forms. And it's known to put that self-worth into now going, well, no, if they appreciate that's handmade, I've printed that myself. I have designed those designs to be printed onto a fabric to be able to make a bag or a garment. Well, then they would, so getting myself away from, oh, being in a regular 9 to 5, this is what I get paid an hour, etc., etc. It is difficult to do that in the creative world, but you can't forget your self-worth because you've put your heart and soul into it, and that's what people don't see. People don't see behind the scenes, basically.
Yeah, because you make it look so easy. Now, and with every startup business, there's always an investment. And here's the thing too, I think people, if you invest very little and you ask for a premium price, I don't know if that really works hand in hand either, but you definitely have went gung ho, Maggie, because I know with all of our interactions, firstly, you invested in yourself coming out to Spain on a retreat. It was your first time to speak to camera and you spoke so well. You have invested in so many training programs for yourself and your equipment for doing tutorials, videos, showing your equipment, showing, your fabrics and fashion. You've just and opened another studio. So you've put in the investment and also investment in time, which is extremely important. The amount of time that you're going to meetings, having Zoom calls. You had one previous coming on this podcast with suppliers. So there's a lot of time goes into that, and people don't see that.
Mm-hmm. People don't see that. People don't see the time. And I mean, like I started this business. Yes, 40 was my turning point, and going on the retreat was just, I think, my pinnacle basically, because it was my first time speaking on camera. And I mean, yourself and the girls, a shade of emotions, just I mean, like I was crying and everything, but those tears also gave a sense of joy and relief, like something heavy was almost kind of like lifting off me. Hence the reason why I said I felt like an onion in 2025. And I invested this in myself. Like I have asked for no handouts. I have got no business loans. Um, in fact, a proud moment of 2025 was from a local after school charity, which have been amazing that I've been working with, and my plans to work with them in 2026. But my first profit that I made from that was £40. So what did I do with that £40? Well, first of all, I printed it and I photocopied it, laminated it, and it's in my studio to remind me that Maggie
Yeah, it
Mc
didn't sound like a
Creations.
whole money laundering thing there. No, she doesn't photocopy.
No, no. Laugh out loud. No, that's quite
This was
funny
just for
actually.
her own effort.
This was literally just for me, just so I could frame it in a folder and just remember that moment that you started this with £40. You physically
Mhm.
started your business with £40. And I mean, like, I go back to that a lot. Even just speaking to family members and especially Gary, my husband, that's one thing that I can be proud. And again, Gary has been great, supportive, anything in terms for the studio and stuff. He's like, oh, that's, I'll get that for you. That's my gift for you, because he's so proud that, that he has actually knows now that I'm starting to have confidence
Yeah,
in myself, because
yeah.
there's always people in your corner being confident about you and telling you to do this, even like my best friends and everything. But you never had that belief yourself. So the
Well,
invest,
something else that perhaps others don't know or see about you, you're on calls at 6:30 in the morning on a mentorship group also for
yep.
Mind. That's, a motivation and inspiration, and you bring so much also to that group because I know because I'm part of that group. So, but if people look at these things, and think, my goodness, all of these things, self-belief, how do I get that self-belief in me? Well, then perhaps mentorships are being involved in groups that can enhance that, that can see your potential that you can't see in yourself, being surrounded with other business people, women in business, groups like that, that are going through the same issues or self-doubt. And you've got Maggie Awards this year also. You've been asked to be a guest speaker, you're just like this spark of energy. And that's why I wanted you on the podcast too, because there is going to be someone listening to this podcast that is in the exact same situation that you once were. That part where we said that anyone has ever had that dream, that there's a dream sitting quietly in their heart,
Mhm.
but you've talked yourself out of it. So for that woman or man that's listening to it, Maggie, and if that was you, what advice would you have to offer now?
Well, confidence grows by doing, and sometimes start it before you feel ready. And I have a saying to myself is hold that vision and trust the process. I've always said that to myself. I have that printed out on my desk. I have that on my phone. And if there is self-doubts, believe, because there is always going to be the what ifs moments, but really find it within you, because your light is there. It's only dimmed. And now that I can say that I feel like a Statue of Liberty again, that I'm standing up proud. I don't have the book in my hand. It's my sewing machine and my knitting machine in my hand on the other side, but my light is shining, so I'm holding it bright. So confidence grows by doing, and just hold your vision and trust your process. And again, if there's that whispering that you're creative, that you can do it, listen to it. Listen to it.
Well, let's get to what it is that you do best and that you love doing and what you offer to people.
Yeah. Well, here at Maggie Mc Creations, I am a bespoke sustainable garment designer and printer on apparel for adults and children. What I want to do here at Maggie Mc Creations is bring joy back into fashion, bring a wearable piece of art, and as I've nicknamed it, the Marie Kondo spark, bing joy back into those designs. I want to create something unique and different that people can feel empowered when they wear, that it relates to their vision. Also a latest collection that I've just recently launched. It's all about roots and connection and our love for each other, but also the love starts from yourself. So again, taking inspirations into my designs and putting them there for people just to feel just to feel good and unique. So yeah, that's
And you
yeah.
also do bridal wear.
Yes, yes, yeah. That was my specialty as well over the years whenever I had it as a almost like a side hustle, as in that I'm not good enough to start a full-time business, but I have worked with many brides, be that their wedding dresses, their veils, their accessories, their bridesmaids, mothers of the brides. It's been a wonderful 20 years of meeting people and doing things. So I also specialize in that as well. I love making fails. Fails was my passion as well. And also I've had hen parties come to me with ideas. So yeah, it's a celebratory of B2B as well, and also community and charities that I love too. I want to offer those if there is an event there and they want that unique print or they want that unique design.
Hmm.
I want to be able to fulfill that. And again, I have a wee slogan is let's create something unique together. And that's what I want to do here at Maggie Mc Creations.
Now, I know where the business at present, you're in the process of building an online shop, an online
Mhm.
website, but your main platforms here at the moment are on Instagram, and I'll put the details in the description. And you've lots of videos and photographs of your things, but I mean, it's so effortless to order. Here's an example. So I have my son who's out in Australia, and it was his birthday. I thought, now what can I send him? So I was able from Spain to contact this wonderful lady who lives in County Armagh and give her my design ideas, which she created and showed me, sent me through proofs of those, and also designed the, a card to go with that and posted it to Australia for me. So there's nobody else has that t-shirt. He's the only one wearing it. And it came from Ireland. But that's how effortless it was. And that's not even just there. We've had for the grandchildren and different wee things with their names done up that you were able to post because for us coming from Spain here, gosh, if you posted something, God knows how long it would take. So that's how easy it is. You don't have to be or come to any of your studios to get that done. If somebody wants to do an order online, it's easily accessible to do that, to speak to you in person. But then you also do, people can come to you if they're needing something bespoke, especially to be measured and things like that, Maggie. Um, so what I'm going to do is I will put the details of your Instagram or your email or your phone number, whatever details you wish to give me, and I'll put them in the description below. But again,
Thank
if we
you.
just go back, Maggie, then as it said in the bio, that this conversation is for anyone who's thinking about starting their business, pursuing a passion, or making that change that feels both exciting and terrifying. And you have said it's been a mixture of emotions. So, where do you see Maggie Mac Creations in a year from now?
In a year from now, my goal for Maggie Mc Creations is to be working at it full time, to expand my creations of what I could do, in terms of embroidery, in terms of more layered mixed media art form on my garments, my fabrics, um, and to basically like post work with people, collaborate with people all over the world, basically, you know. So I want my little small independent brand to be out there, as you said, It's effortlessly can be done. It's just a matter of contacting me. Proofs are sent out. So yeah, my goal is to be this full time.
Mm. And for any businesses listening, regardless of what size, if you'd like to support smaller businesses, whether it's logos on workwear, and you can source workwear also, Maggie. A
Yes,
lot of your fabrics actually are organic
yes, yes. Organic, yep. Organic
and
cottons and
recycled.
recycled polyesters. Yes,
There you
yes.
go.
So
She's doing her bit for the environment, ladies and gentlemen. So I think this woman deserves your support. And yeah, it's just reaching out and saying, this is what I want. Can you do it? The answer is going to be yes or no, but I'd say it's going to be yes. Maggie, thanks so much for your advice and your tips for anyone that's starting off in business, for your courage, for saying yes, firstly, to your first podcast about your business. I'm very honored.
thank you.
And
I'm honored.
and for just keeping doing what it is that you're doing because you're an absolute joy to work with. And we have worked together on many an occasion. And you bring such energy to a room and never underestimate that, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're getting that the energy is right. And this woman's energy certainly is right for what it is that she's doing. Maggie McCann, creator, CEO of Maggie Mc Creations, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much, Evelyn. Take care.
You've been listening to Effortless Attraction with Evelyn McAleer. If you're enjoying the podcast, you can support the show on Spotify for just £1.99 a month. You'll unlock exclusive episodes, and your support helps keep these conversations going. The link is in the description.